Hey, precious gems, welcome back. For those who do not know, my name is Rita, and this channel is all about me making different types of crafts with crystals. So, I predominantly tend to use crystals to make jewelry, but I also use them for like making decorations and other pieces as well, and I share them with you all. This is a new series that I'm having on my channel, and I'm so excited to try this out. And this new series is called Zodiac Crystals. I'm sure everybody is familiar with Zodiac and the crystals or birthstones that are attached to the different Zodiac signs. I just had the thought of, well, why not try and match up the crystals to different Zodiacs based upon the type of energy that these crystals give off and the personality traits of these different Zodiacs. And let me tell you, I went down a rabbit hole and I found out so much different information. Like, for instance, you have this thing called a birth chart, and it revolves around the zodiacs. However, what we know as a zodiac sign that we are attached to, that is called our sun sign. And the zodiac lasts for like 30 days within that sun sign. And then you also have what's called an ascendency sign and a moon sign. And so it's really interesting because all of these three parts, and there's other parts to it too, but these are the three main, but they actually help to make up and explain your own personality. And not only your personality, but how you think and even your emotional responses to things, which is really neat. Now, I am not going to go really far in depth with talking about your ascendancy sign and your moon sign and the crystals to consider for those because it is very different from the sun sign. In this series, I want to focus on sun sign. However, I do want to take a couple minutes to explain the difference between your sun, ascendancy, and moon, just so you have like a base layer foundation. Let's start with the sun sign. The sun sign is one that everybody is pretty knowledgeable of and they know of because this is the one that is everywhere. The sun sign has a time period of 30 days. So, depending on what day you're born, is what sun sign you fall under or zodiac sign you fall under. It shows your personality. So, depending on what zodiac you fall under for your sun sign, it really is going to showcase what type of personality you generally have. Now, there are the other two parts, which is the ascendancy and moon, that play a part in it too. But your sun sign is really basically your personality. So then we have the ascendancy sign. Your ascendancy is based upon what time you're born. And what's really neat about the ascendancy is that instead of like with the sun sign, it revolves every 30 days to a different zodiac. For ascendancy, it'll change zodiacs every 60 hours. So every 2.5 days, there is a new zodiac. So that means every zodiac will repeat at least 2 times in a course of the sun sign, which I thought was really neat. So ascendancy is the persona that you display to others. So think of it as like your mask in a sense. It's how you portray yourself when you go out and hang out with friends at a function, at your job. That you can attribute that type of persona to your ascendancy sign. And then on the other hand, you have your moon sign. And just like ascendancy, the moon sign also revolves or changes every 60 hours or every 2.5 days. Your moon sign is based upon what shape the moon is when you're born. So was it a crescent moon? Was it a full moon? That is what determines what your moon sign is. And your moon sign is more so your emotional aspect. So how you react to things emotionally, your own temperament, how you view the world around you, how you view yourself, that is all stemmed from your moon sign. This kind of blew my mind because honestly, I only thought about the zodiac as like the sun sign. I never really thought about that there was other aspects to consider when thinking about your own personality. And as I read up on this stuff, I realized that it made sense. So I'll use myself as an example. My sun sign is Aquarius. However, my ascendancy sign is a Leo, and my moon sign is. And after reading and looking into it, it's actually pretty spot on. Attributes to my personality that weren't explained through just Aquarius was further explained with the ascendancy and the moon sign. So I welcome everyone to take the chance and learn what your ascendancy and moon sign are. And you can just Google it. For knowing your ascendancy, you need to know what time you were born. And you should be able to get that off your birth certificate. If not that, hopefully you have someone in your family that knows. And your moon sign is based upon the moon, what phase the moon was in on the day that you were born. And you can find that just by Googling moon phases. And there should be like a website on Google that'll pop up and it'll allow you to enter the day that you were born and it'll show you the moon, what phase it was on. This Crystal Zodiac series is all about reinventing the birthstone. So I chose birthstones that really match pretty well with your zodiac sign, and the energies that the crystal give off, they help to aid you and aid your personality, and sometimes even balance you when you have an imbalance. Some zodiacs will have one birthstone, other zodiacs will have two birthstones. It really just depends on whether I could narrow it down. Some of them, two is just too good, so I kept them as two. For instance, with Capricorn, the zodiac we're going over in this video, I have two birthstones. So if anything I just spoke about interests you, or you find that my content is interesting, please hit the like button and subscribe to my video so you'll be notified when I post other videos. For this series, I'm doing this really once a month. So for each zodiac season, I'll have a zodiac video. Except for with Capricorn. Capricorn is late, of course. So I am posting Capricorn first, but I'm also going to be posting next week Aquarius. So just make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified for that. And without further ado, let's get started. My lovely Capricorns, boy do I love you guys. One of my closest friends is actually a Capricorn. And it's pretty funny when looking up Capricorns and reading about like the personality traits of Capricorns, I immediately thought of my friend that's a Capricorn. It fits so well. So I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you're already a Capricorn. But for those that aren't Capricorns, Capricorns are known to be extremely hardworking. They tend to be complete go-getters. Sometimes they're so intense with their dream and chasing after it that sometimes they don't know when to just take a step back or throw in the towel, which is really adoring. I admire Capricorns. You're also pretty serious, but you do have a humorous side, pretty rule oriented, and you just love to provide support as well. My lovely, lovely Capricorns. So I have two birthstones for this, and one of them is actually one you're familiar with. I actually decided to keep Garnet. Garnet actually fits you guys really well, energy-wise. But I also wanted to also give the opportunity to propose Black Onyx for you guys as a possible birthstone. Actually, I found the Garnet and the Black Onyx to work together pretty well. So I really recommend actually having both. And I'll explain why. We'll start first with Garnet. Garnet is one of the most plentiful crystals out there on the market. So with that being said, it's not too pricey to be able to buy for yourself. So the type of energy that Garnet gives off is, it's a very, very, very energetic stone. And it actually helps to balance your own energies, which makes it incredibly useful for those that are going through a hard time or a crisis. Because it'll help you to balance out your energy and those emotions so that you're not leaning too far into one side or the other. So balancing that yin and yang. which is great for Capricorns because Capricorns are known to not know when to quit, to not know when to back off. So having this type of stone with you will help you to mitigate any type of harmful effects you might have from keep persevering and pushing through something. It's worthwhile to also note that with the energies of Garnet, it helps you with gaining like self-control, gives you extra courage, and it also strengthens your instincts, which I think is perfect because strengthening your instinct in those situations where you're forced to have a quick solution and to think on your toes, having your natural instincts buffed is such a huge factor in trying to find something that can aid you. The last capability I want to go over with Garnet is that it also can help you to let go of any useless or old, obsolete ideas. With Capricorns, they like to stick to the guns. Well, this will help you to get the strength to release some of that. Because sometimes some ideas, some things that you're trying to do, in general, it just doesn't work and we need to know when to walk away. Now we're moving on to Onyx. So Onyx energy helps to provide you with the structure and authority that you crave. So the stone helps you to master your own destiny while also strengthening your confidence in pursuing your destiny. So it provides you with support in difficult times. It'll center your energy, especially during the times where you are super stressed, whether it is mental stress or if it's physical stress. It'll help to back you on those moments. It's also important to note that it will help you feel ease in your surroundings, which I think is a really cool thing. Like, just in general, besides being a Capricorn, Black Onyx is really super nice to have because of that. Now that you've heard me talk a little bit about both Garnet and Onyx, I hope that you can see like the image that I'm painting, how well both of these stones are for you guys, or for Capricorns. So one other thing I do want to mention about both of these stones is how they can work synergistically together. So I mentioned how Onyx can help you with self-control. Well, sometimes Onyx can be a little bit too much with the self-control already added on to Capricorns naturally having self-control. So Garnet helps to balance that out. So it adds a certain lightness into your life. And what I mean by that is the energy itself is a little bit light and uplifting compared to Onyx's heavier energy that it gives off. Not only that, the attributes of both of these crystals align. They align with each other very nicely. So wearing them both together, those energies really won't clash. So now we've gone over these two birthstones, and you might have had a fleeting thought, you might not have. This is me giving you something more to think about, but how to wear these crystals. Believe it or not, crystals don't just work automatically. You don't just put them on anywhere or set them down anywhere and expect them to do some voodoo hoodoo magic. Crystals, like I said, are energy, and energy gets absorbed by us humans in certain ways. So there are certain ways that you should be wearing certain types of crystals. And I will actually be making a video coming up soon about how to wear some of these really popular crystals based on what you're hoping to achieve. But my recommendation for you, when it comes to the black onyx or regular onyx, wear it on the left side of your body, preferably your left wrist if you're wearing a bracelet. If you are wearing a ring, of course, on the left hand. The pinky is a really good one, and so is the thumb. For Garnet, it doesn't really matter what side of the body you wear it on, because the way it works, it can work on either side depending on what you're trying to have happen. But the best way to wear it is on your ears, your fingers, or over your heart, so as a necklace. If you're going to do your fingers, the best finger to do is your thumb for Garnet. Again, location matters. Where and how you're wearing it really does matter. It depends on whether or not you're actually absorbing the energy or using the energy to expel something out. And like I said, I will get further in detail into that in another video. We don't have time to cover it in this one, unfortunately. I've already thrown so much information at you guys. So thank you so much for listening to this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, this is a series. I have others coming. Next week will be Aquarius. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.